Thursday night players. So Michael Golstein. As a free agent in 2019, he's been the heart and soul of our defense. He's evolved from Pepsi Mike to a staunch defender and a quiet leader on the back end. So we'd like to thank you, Mike. Congratulations, you'll always be a rebel. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. He's playing on a national anthem.
It's the main event, Game 2 of the North semifinals. It's the Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League Junior B Tier 1 circuit. The Fort Saskatchewan Rebels hosting the St. Albert Crude. Rebels won Game 1 on the road. 10-6 Thursday night, Fort Saskatchewan. Gonna be going right to left on your TV screens, wearing their home blacks, red trim. Crude going left to right, road whites, purple trim, black trim as well. Your starting netminders, Trace Stewart, stopped 33-39 in game number 1 for the Rebels, and Connor Murray for the Crude, stopped 51 of 61. Fraser Barrett, he'll take this draw against Cale Harris. Refs ready, balls down, and we are underway. It's the playoffs in the JRC. Stewart bobbles that opener, but now Carter Albrecht sends it up for Riley Lewis. Ethan Peterson now over to Jackson Baker. Baker down the pipe, and he scores! Took him 23 seconds, but Jackson Baker has his second of the playoffs, and the Rebels draw first blood. Jackson Baker opens up the scoring for Fort Saskatchewan. Jackson Porter and Ethan Peterson pick up assists as the Rebels open the scoring. Hard pick by Peterson, opens up some space, and Baker tries again, short side. Crude finished the season in second place, 12-8. They stacked up at the deadline, drying the Outlaws clean of a lot of their elite players. The Rebels, well, they sold off and ended up getting rid of Josh McCallie and arguably their best offensive player, sent him to the Warriors, but in return they got local netminder Trey Stewart, who has elevated his game to the next level. Seth McKenzie over to the affiliate Nolan Eastwood. Eastwood had an assist on Thursday night in his Tier 1 playoff debut, getting into it down low with Dizwenka. It's going to be physical, but if we saw anything Thursday night, it's that the refs had put the whistles away, and you hope that continues. Liam Elliott now. Eastwood trying to free up some space. Xander Maxwell to the middle. Maxwell pulls it back. Eastwood's got 5 to shoot. Trying to go over the defender, and a great stick by Tyson Dizwenka. Blocks it. Kyle Dizwenka now. Couple of goals in the playoffs for him. They'll run it through their righties, and Michael Gillespie, the lone graduate from the Rebels this season, knocks the ball down. Battle ensues, still hopping around. 7 on the shot clock. Hobday with it, no reset. He's gonna launch this one down the floor, and Trey Stewart has to catch it in his crease. Zayden Blake shows up and says hello, and the Rebels head north. Maxwell for Fairholm. Not much of a pick, but he finds Maxwell. Thought about shooting it around the defense. A little bouncer. Wide of Murray. Bennett Fries in the corner. Up top, Morgan Baker. Baker with it again, down for Horlock. Pass down low, intended for Schmerman. Carter McAdams right there, and he gets a stick in the way. Jackson Porter will run it from the right-hand side. Ethan Peterson loves that shot right down the highway. Descends to fake around Davin Baldock. Baker runs himself out of room. He's got Riley Lewis up top. Shot goes a couple of feet wide, and the Rebels have to get back here. This is going to bounce to Jackson Baker. And with a second left, he has to leave it on the ground. Now, one of the things I've liked about Jackson Baker's game this year is he started being a little bit more comfortable coming out the back gate, where at the start of the year, maybe it was a little more overwhelming, and he was a little bit more comfortable out the O gate. Now he's playing both, and it's awesome to see. Joshua Fodchuk, awesome move, kick save by Trey Stewart. Now it's Mikey Gillespie. Little fake moves, drops the ball on the ground though. In transition, Crude back the other way, little fade away right in the stick of Trey Stewart. And Stewart wants to stretch this one. Riley Lewis, defender all over him. Pass down low for Fraser Barrett. He's in tight. Barrett, low shot. Murray got a piece of it, and it ends up out of play. Xander Maxwell, far side. To the middle, spin move down low. Won't get around Fry. Now he's pushed back up top. Ethan Peterson. You see Maxwell switch hands, and that's such a field player move, but there's just an elite IQ that comes with Xander Maxwell that not a hell of a lot of players in the Tier 1 circuit can do. Here goes Joma, 17 on the shot clock. Left arm saved by Trey Stewart. Albrecht's got the rebound. Takes a couple of sticks as payment. Carter McAdam out of the corner. Up top, here's Albrecht. For Fairholm. Little too low for him, and now he's got to get on his horse back. Transition. Cale Harris, the big righty, far side, wide of the cage. Ethan Peterson, the captain's up top. Pass intended for Porter. And he's going to drop this one into row 2. Far side of the floor. Zayden Blake out there, causing some traffic and picks in front. There's a stick that goes flying. Fodchuk now. Little spin move. Down low, Fodchuk's got the rebound and it's over the goal. A perfect opportunity and one that Fodchuk doesn't miss much. But he puts it over the target and Trey Stewart not even forced to make a save there. Porter throws it across the floor. Elliott wasn't ready for it. Neither was Eastwood. Now Nolan Eastwood's got to get back. 3-on-3, Schmerman's in front of the goal. Joma, they've got Hobday out there as well. Hard pick. As Bennett Fry gets taken to the ground too. Refs aren't happy with it. Fort Saskatchewan goes the other way. Xander Maxwell's up top, a goal and 2 assists in game 1. Frazier Barrett shoots around a screen. Bouncer, good stop by Miri. Ref's gonna take one, and it looks like it'll be Brighton Searson, the former Fort Saskatchewan Rebel. Goes off for a cross-check. Fort Saskatchewan's power play goes to work with 13:05 left to go in period number 1. Xander Maxwell will steer the ship on the power play. Lefty strong look. Lewis and Fairholm are the righties. Fairholm now, lackadaisical pass, got picked off by Reynaud. Jack Reynaud, the captain, double swim move. Opens up some space. Bryce Schmerman getting into it with Maxwell. Size mismatch, hearts look about the same. Reynaud now, 5 seconds left. He'll dump this one down into the corner. And Fort Saskatchewan, minute 15 on the power play. We'll send their offensive experts back. Rebels a little slow to get 5 out there. Here's Lewis. Maxwell's up top. Sub shot, left pad saved by Miri. Lewis now tees that one up and it goes off the defender. Maxwell behind the back for Porter, far side. Had a lane to shoot. Couldn't put it on goal again. We've only had 6 shots in the first 8 minutes of period number 1. A lot of balls missing the net. Peterson, pass intended for Lewis. Nolan Eastwood a little slow to get up and now he dumps the defender. Rebels want to say the Crude had possession. Crude want to say the Rebels did. Ref's favor was St. Albert on this one. This is going to bounce into the neutral zone. Dangerous as Carter Albrecht tries to run up on it. Good stick by Kyle Diswanka. Forces it. But the ref's going to blow it down with a 10-second violation. Jackson Porter's in tight. Connor Murray reads him like a book. Connor Murray standing tall. The former Sherwood Park outlaw. A difference maker early. Now Bornick stripped by Albrecht. Veteran on rookie. And Bornick learns his lesson and he does the exact same. Albrecht. Well, now they're just playing give and go here. Albrecht's got it back. And he'll throw it for Seth Fairholm. Bornick getting into it with Albrecht. Penalty upcoming. Couple extra shots by Jonah Bornick, and Carter Albrecht doesn't retaliate. Something the Rebels haven't been really good at this season. Riley Lewis, 10 to shoot, 6 on 5. Fairholm wants it. Bouncer on goal. It got tipped off the defenseman as well. Murray got it with the chest. A little bit of an unconventional save, but nonetheless, he keeps it out, and Fort Saskatchewan goes back to the power play. I think they called 2 on Boronik. And now Austin Dahl is forced to take the walk of shame because of Jonah Boronik. He got out for a second. So I think it's just a 2 and a 10. Pretty clear call right there from Garen Schmerman. If you didn't hear it, he said, Jonah, shut up. Don't have to read lips to hear that one from up in the broadcast booth. Rebels power play. Lewis, outside look. Shot got tipped. Raynold up top on this penalty kill has been dynamite as Peterson lets it go from the outside. Left arm safe. Reynolds getting sticks on hands and not allowing him anything. Baker down for Lewis. Pass is a little hot to handle, and same with Peterson's. Baker now throws one of Eastwood's feet. Back to Eastwood, low to low. It's behind Murray and it's in. Doubling up the affiliate Nolan Eastwood on the power play. Rebels capitalize on the Boronik minor. And now it's Fraser Barrett going to work in transition. Has some support, and it's in the back of the net. 3-0 Fort Saskatchewan leads as Connor Murray takes a walk to the bench. Carter McAdam with the third one as Schmerman and Barrett have a few words. This Crude offense can score in bunches, but the Rebels out to a good start at home. Pass there by Zayden Blake got knocked out. Grab by Lewis, spin move over to McAdam. He bobbles it. The assistant captain up the floor. You know, he's banged up. Pass over to Riley Lewis. Shoots around a screen and he scores. Top shelf where Grandma keeps the good stuff, and Riley Lewis makes it 4-0. Reese Oliver comes in, and now we got a penalty call on Schmerman, I believe. Fraser Barrett pardon me, it'll be Cale Harris. Didn't mean to target Bryce Schmerman on that one. Cale Harris is going off for a cross check right off the draw. Fraser Barrett took one off the coconut. And it'll be another power play for the Rebels here in period number 1. McAdam and Peterson get assists on the Lewis goal, his second of the playoffs. Xander Maxwell, low shot. Murray back between the pipes. Baker for Maxwell. Back to Baker. They'll set it from up top. Now Lewis trying to go 5-hole. Fairhole comes down with the rebound. Peterson for Baker. Thought about shooting it before he caught the pass. Now he's going to set it up. Back for Fairholm. Quick stick. Great stop. Connor Murray on the back door. Stones him. Ben Reynolds turns on the Gents for a second. I believe the trade, I don't have the exact details, but I believe he becomes Rebels property next season. As that's Ben Reynolds. He's playing his last year with Jack, his brother. Great tier 1 defender for the Crude. Fodchuk now, off angle. Stopped by Stewart. Carter Albrecht trying to chase this one down, and Jack Reynolds has it. Schmerman's off the bench. Got behind Vetch. Bryce Schmerman all alone. Stopped by Stewart, and now we got a little bit of rough stuff. Albrecht and Schmerman will have a few words. Pretty easy call there. You can't cut through the crease and run into the goaltender unless you're pushed in. But another penalty. And the party grows by 1 in the Crude penalty box. Goaltender interference is the call. Porter's out in front. Early shot on Murray, and he makes the save. Now Fairholm trying to force a turnover. Has to be careful not to take a penalty, and they're going back the other way. It sets Fairholm over to Xander Maxwell, and he put it at his boots. Ben Reynolds now runs into Carter Albrecht. Albrecht out there on a 5-on-3. Xander Maxwell has to be careful. Defenders Cale Harris out of the penalty box. Gave him a good scare. Lewis is back. Maxwell down to Fairholm. For the Rebels, they've had a lot of opportunities on the power play, obviously, but the passing hasn't been that great here. Mike Gillespie, they'll say he didn't play the ball, which clearly he didn't. Crude possession, fresh 30 clock. Morgan Baker's up top. Usually you'd see him play that low righty position with the Outlaws. Obviously the Crude offense is deep and going towards the net. Stewart's got to get tested one more time. Rebound grab by Justice Cutler. Baker's up top. 30 on the penalty to Schmerman. This feels like a big kill for the Crude here. So they were down 5-on-3 for about 30 seconds. Baker for Lewis, short side pull. Great kick by Murray. Pass is gonna go back. Baker. Peterson back to Lewis. Right out front's Porter. Took an extra second, and now Porter's got the rebound as well. Behind the goal, Eastwood gets bundled without the ball, and they'll give Fort Saskatchewan possession here. 3 seconds left in the Schmerman penalty. Crude are gonna kill this one off here. Back to even strength. Nolan Eastwood for Peterson. Behind the net's Porter. Outside look, easy save by Murray. Now Eastwood tries throwing the body on the boards. Bennett Fry awaits. Joma's up top. Here's Fonchuk. Now's when you would expect the Crude's veterans to step up. Sub shot there by Adam Horlak. You could hear it from St. Albert. Now Horlak and Stewart getting into it behind the play. Rebels still have possession as Fraser Barrett circles the cage. He's pushed to the ground, still makes a pass for Fairholm. Well, that's the jungle at its finest. You've got conversations all over the floor. Xander Maxwell, corkscrew goes wide. Kyle Duzwanka, arguably the second best season in the Tier 1 circuit this year. Walks it up top, low to low. Skips it wide. Hobday, one arm on it, 4 to shoot, pushed into the boards as the shot clock expires. Matthew Vetch now turns on the Jets. Blake pushes them back. You know the assistant captain's not going down without a fight. Porter for Baker. Up top, shot by Elliott, got blocked. And Bennett Fry. Long shift for him as Elliott hits him right in the back, and that's going to be a penalty. Easy call right there. Liam Elliott gets a little aggressive, and St. Albert heads up a man with 3:05 to go in period number 1. Crude power play goes to work. No surprise, Horlak's up top. Quick stick opportunity, and Joshua Fonchuk puts it past the post. Here's Horlak again. Little give and go. He'll take the shot himself. Caught Stewart off guard there. But good stick positioning pays off. And now Jackson Porter. Jersey Hal takes it himself. Are you kidding me? Jackson Porter, roll the highlight reel. It's 5-0. Jackson Porter chalk that one up for a goal of the playoffs, an early contender. He does it by himself. Defender on him like a backpack. Puts it past Connor Murray, and now we're getting some extra conversation by the Crude bench. Obviously not too happy with the reffing. I don't think we can pick it up with the mics here. Probably best for the kids. Sportsmanlike's gonna get called here. I didn't know if that was a finger that got put up or what, but it's an unsportsmanlike conduct call here. So the Crude have just negated their own power play. And Brighton Searson looks to be taking a walk. I wish I could explain it to you better, but the Crude bench has lost control here. And it should be just Rebels possession. It shouldn't be a face-off anymore. If I know my lacrosse rules, don't count on it though. I'm here to talk about lacrosse. I'm not a walking, talking encyclopedia of the game. Looks like they will just hand it off to Maxwell. So he'll start it up top. It'll be 4-on-4 for the next minute 26. 2:32 left to go in period number 1. Peterson back for Fairholm. Hard pick set on Maxwell. Now Lewis is getting into it with Fry. Maxwell pulls it back. Spin move around Schmerman. Maxwell dives, scores! Crease dive called, plus a little extracurricular activity. If that's the NLL, we're watching it on ESPN tomorrow. Unfortunately, it's the Junior Beast circuit, and that won't count. But Xander Maxwell, I'll throw it on a highlight reel for you. Got the fans on their feet and everything. So Bryce Schmerman takes a seat for 2 or less, and the Rebels go back to the power play. Peterson's up top. Porter down low. Lewis has to climb a ladder to come down with it, and there maybe just a quick ball movement that was unnecessary. Lewis's shot goes wide, and it bounces off the lane. Not quite sure what happened, but somehow Jackson Porter has it now. Take my eye off the game for a second and I let you down at home. Well, the Rebels have possession and they're still in the power play. 18 on the shot clock. Baker and Lewis are up top. Lewis, short side, scores! He's got 2, 1 for each twin. It's 3-1. 3 goals on the playoffs for him, 6 in the game. The JRC is electric. Rebels lead by half a dozen. Adam Horlak in the corner. Hobday's up top. Back for Horlak, down low pass. Ends up picking off Kyle Dzwanka in the back of the hat. You know this veteran Crude team though, lacrosse, it's a game of runs. Rebels are on a run of 6. Just as easy, you could see things swing around here. But we got 46 seconds left to go. Rebels are still in the power play for the next 10 seconds. Baker, outside shot, rebound gets scooped up by Tyson Dzwanka. Xander Maxwell's on the back check. Baker's there to help, loose ball. Bodies end up on the ground. And it'll be Crude possession, 27 seconds left. I think they're so flustered, they're not even gonna call a timeout here. You can turn off the shot clock. They can drop whatever they want and pull their goalie. Instead, they're just going for it. Schmerman's shot goes wide. This is gonna bounce all the way down to Connor Murray. 12 on the shot clock. They can still go quick if they want. 4 seconds. Baker up top. This one's gonna bounce around. They're not even going to put something on goal, and Kyle Dzwanka has to leave it after 20 minutes of play in Fort Saskatchewan. Game 2 of the Junior Beast North semifinals. Rebels lead 6-0. We'll step aside for the intermission and come back with period number 2 on 12-ounce sports. Welcome back inside the Jubilee Recreation Center. Cody Jansen with you on 12-ounce sports. 7:48 local time here in Fort Saskatchewan. It's the Junior Beast North Division semifinal. Fort Saskatchewan Rebels taking on the St. Albert Crude. Rebels lead 6-0 after the first period of play. 2 goals for Riley Lewis, a shorty by Jackson Porter. Carter McAdam got in on the scoring. The affiliate Nolan Eastwood, and of course Jackson Baker opens it up. Not that this was clearly unexpected, but it was definitely not expected. When you look at the Crude and who they added at the deadline, I don't think many could have predicted this. But let's look back at these teams' playoff histories here, especially meeting each other. Back to 2019, the Rebels beat the Crude in the North Final. Took them 3 games to do so. 2018, the Rebels sweep the Crude in the North semifinal. Back in 2017, only the Crude make the playoffs. They get swept in round 1 by the Sherwood Park Titans, same as the year before, but the Rebels got swept by Sherwood Park in round 1. 2015, the Crude swept by Red Deer in round 1, and 2014, the Crude lose to the SWAT in round 1. Not a lot of playoff success between these two teams when you look at it as a whole over the past 8 years, but of recent, the Rebels have definitely had the better playoff memories. A lot of former players in the barn this evening. It's packed, although on the far side of the floor there's no beer gardens, so you can't exactly tell. But I'll let you know for free. This side is rocking. The beer gardens are going. And yeah, it wouldn't be Junior B lacrosse without parents trying to fight each other. So it's just another great Saturday in Fort Saskatchewan. Period 2 underway. Crude control. Joma's up top. Finds Dzwanka with a back pass. No, it got bobbled down as Horlick tried the little pick and pop. Albrecht for Fraser Barrett, the former minor lacrosse club face-off specialist. Pass over to Lewis. He had a little bit of a fadeaway going. Now playing goal for the Crude. Probably should have mentioned it. Reese Oliver comes in full time. He played about 30 seconds in period number 1, and he allowed a goal on 1 shot. Peterson whips this one wide. Bennett Fry comes down with it. You know, Fry can fly, and he's got Dzwanka off the bench, stopped by Stewart. Fry's got it again. The former first overall pick. Probably been the most impactful Crude player in this game. Dzwanka won't shoot. Far side, Hobday towards the cage. Stewart eats it up. Up for Vetch in front of the penalty boxes. Vetch bobbles it. He's going to have to go back. Shots after 20 minutes of play, 14-8 in favor of Fort Saskatchewan. Rebels 1 for 4 on the power play. Crude 0 for 2. Horlick off the bench. Run things far side. Dzwanka behind the back. Bounces it out of play. Thought that might have gone off of Porter's leg. Obviously, the ref's right there, and I think he probably makes a better call than me up in the broadcast booth. Xander Maxwell out of the corner. Down low pass. No one was ready for it, though. Elliott, the affiliate. Cross to Porter. Room to shoot. Now he walks in. Tries to go high to low, and you wonder if you're better off just taking that shot from farther out and getting a little bit more on it. Schmermit, sub shot got blocked. Carter Albrecht goes the other way. He had a goal in game 1. Over to Tyson Lewis. Back for Nolan Eastwood, another affiliate. Had the second goal of the game, the only power play goal of the game so far. Fraser Barrett, 10 to shoot. No shot clock at this side of the floor again. Score clock, shot clock, all of that's dead behind the Crude net. Now, I would have said I would think it would make a difference. But in the Mounties and Rebels, the senior game earlier, well, the Mounties put 14 behind Fort Saskatchewan. So clearly it didn't affect them. I don't expect it to affect the Crude either. Dzwanka is up top. Blake trying to find some free space. over the goal. Rebound got tipped there as well. Joma played the alley-oop, and now Vetch is going to boot this one up for McKenzie. Seth McKenzie in transition over to Vetch. And again, one step ahead. He was thinking shot before he actually caught the ball. Bryce Schmerman, the Vancouver Warriors draft pick. No points yet in the playoffs for him. Trey Stewart, sky ball for Fraser Barrett. Rebels are running this one 3-on-3. Barrett thought about doing it himself. Now it's McAdam over to Maxwell. Maxwell for Barrett. Tries a little twister. Goes wide. Rebounds up in the air. Who's going to come down with it? Carter McAdam. 3 on the shot clock. Up top for Fraser Barrett. Took too long, and he's going to have to leave it on the ground. Not enough communication out of the Fort Saskatchewan O guys. Zayden Blake, the assistant captain, up for Joma. Room to shoot, and Stewart moves over to his right calmly. Connor Albrecht in transition. Ball donks the last one back. Albrecht cross and stopped by Reese Oliver. Right play, the finish just wasn't quite there by Walsh. Hobday. Dieswank is up top. Right side, Horlak just buzzes the bottom corner wide. Stewart got a piece with his toe. Horlak again. Same sub shot, trying to go 5-hole. Stewart drops down and takes out that lane. Crude coaches are telling their players to shoot high. They didn't listen the past few times. We'll see if it changes when they go back up the floor. Riley Lewis is on hat-trick watch. Peterson to Fairholm. Down for Porter. I'm not laughing at the players. I'm laughing at the parents trying to coach. Peterson, little spin move. Far side, Oliver with the save. Rebound, he's got that as well. 2 massive saves by Reese Oliver here in period number 2. Far side, Blake goes behind the goal. Joma up top to Dahl. Fry circling the wagons. Outside, Blake high to low. Stewart takes a quick peek behind him, but the rebound falls. Pardon me, that was Flodchuk with the shot. Harris heads up. Blake now. Rebels might have got away with a little interference in the slot, but they'll play on, and Mikey Gillespie has the interception. Pardon me, it's Carter McAdam in transition. He wants to run it himself. McAdam, spin move, back for Xander Maxwell. Wisely holds on to this one. It's a veteran presence right there. A lot of guys would have just wanted to push it. He decides, hey, we got 30 on the shot clock for a reason. Peterson in tight, and he scores! The captain comes through clutch. Rebels lead by a touchdown. Face-off violation called on Fraser Barrett, and they'll let the goalies grab some water here with 12:42 left to go in period number 2.
set by number 55, Carter McAdams. Number 61, Noah Eastwood. Time of that goal is 7:60.
Back at it here at the JRC. Dezwanka gets a pick from Joma as Horlack up top. Outside, Blake shot. I think Stewart caught a piece of it. Nope, they'll say it goes off the boards. Good thing there's people in this building with better eyes than myself. Justice Cutler now knocked off of it. Rebels defense on the floor. Dezwanka. Usually you would see him drive there. You gotta wonder, maybe the Crude are a little bit more banged up here than we think. Hobding for Dezwanka. Vetch has it off the ground. Porter out there as well. Lewis to help. His pass got knocked out. Great play by Morgan Baker. And he comes up with the Lucy. Crude have 6 on the floor. They're lucky it's not Junior Wright. Gillespie all alone. Lewis is in tight and he scores! The perfect finish off the perfect delivery, and it's 8-0. It took Riley Lewis a full 28 minutes to get a hat trick tonight, but he's got the 8th of the game for Fort Saskatchewan. Horlack's up top. Drives and he tries to go 5-hole on Stewart. Good stick positioning, cutaway at the angle. Jackson Baker off the bench fast. He's got Seth McKenzie with him. Liam Elliott over to Baker. Thought about shooting it, faked everyone out in the barn. Baker passes it for Porter. Ball's on the ground. Liam Elliott outworked there. Here goes Reynaud. It's Ben towards the goal. Thought about doing it himself. Had Dahl up there as well. Thought maybe Dahl could have came in and laid a pick or so. Fodchuk as Joma gets it back. Shoots it off the right pad of Stewart. Schmerman's now pinned tight. Somehow it stays out. Trey Stewart. Are you kidding me? Blake now. It's over to Howerlick and he scores. Crude are on the board. 29 minutes and 52 seconds into this one. When you need a goal, who do you go to? Well, it's your veterans, and Adam Horlack's got it. His 3rd of the playoffs. Cuts the lead down to 7. In a game of runs, the Crude cut the Rebels down to 8. Hobding to the far side. Blake, a little back pedal for Joma. They'll run it through the corner again. Dezwanka, one arm on his stick. Howerlack's in tight. Helmet goes flying. And now he gives a push, and Albrecht's in there as well. Dieswanka's throwing around. Albrecht's got a hold of him, and he throws him to the ground. There's not many tougher than Carter Albrecht on the Tier 1 circuit. And by not many, I mean 1, 2? I don't know, I'm having a hard time thinking about it. We'll let the refs sort things out here. Obviously, you got to assume the Rebels will be shorthanded, but a little extracurricular. I know they're going to have to figure this one out. Well, this is a wild situation here. 2 major penalties against the Rebels. Albrecht got 5 at a game. McKenzie just got 5. Somehow the Crude didn't get a single one. Although, again, after the play, another run at Trace Stewart, plus a couple of face masks in there as well. Skyball, McAdam pokes it down. Dieswanka's up top. His shot stopped by Stewart. Fraser Barrett trying to scoop it off the ground. Still down there, and it's going to roll into Trace Stewart. Stewart sends this one up the floor. Little too much meat under it. Joma's in tight. Stopped by Stewart. You like seeing Jack Raynold up top, telling him what to do. That's what a leader does. Doesn't lose his head, doesn't lose his cool. Says, hey, keep calm. We got our chance right now. Dieswanka in tight. He'll get it again. Down for Joma. Up top, Fodchuk stopped by Stewart. Dieswanka won't let it go. Pass back for Schmerman. Fraser Barrett got his stick in the white. Schmerman, you know he wants to drive the cage, tries to tuck it high. And Stewart at the top seals off that pipe. Sub shot by Dieswanka. Rebound grab by Joma. Now it's Schmerman to shoot. Trace Stewart, another one. Carter McAdam. Now he's going to have to run his lungs dry. He'll have a double or a triple team chasing him. Killed off a few seconds, and Jack Raynold sends him back up the floor. They're going to use Jack Raynold up top. He's sitting about the restraining line. Now it's Dieswanka. Low shot. Stewart stops him and doesn't allow a rebound either. They'll dump it down the floor. It's good defensive coverage by Hobday to recognize, hey, it's a 5-on-3. We just have to find bodies and get on them here quick. It's a heads-up play you love to see in lacrosse. Hobday's got it again. Back for Horlick. Shot by Hobday got blocked by Mikey Gillespie. That'll leave a welt. Ben Hobday back over to Horlack. It's on the ground. Fraser Barrett pushes him out. In tight, Steve Wanka. And somehow, Trey Stewart, the local kid. Now it looked like Fraser Barrett might have stepped in the crease. Refs are going to let him play on. It's Bennett Fry off the change. Horlack on a break. Couple of fakes. And he's robbed by Stewart. Now it's Pepsi Mike to see how hungry he is, if he can eat off the next 20 seconds on the shot clock. Crude force a turnover, still on the 5-on-3 for a minute 20. Dizwanka's up top. Crude have to be careful. They don't get too many on the floor. Now it's Fodchuk. Heavy shot off the hip, got stopped. Rebound popped up, and it's grabbed. Justice Cutler, the affiliate, on a 5-on-3 penalty kill in the playoffs. Talk about you wonder who Darren Beret's trusting to do this. So many good options on the back check. And now Cutler gets buried behind the play. Somehow the refs aren't going to blow this one down. Going the other way, it's Baldock, and it's off the crossbar. What is going on? It's bedlam inside the JRC. Lewis out of his own zone. Couple of seconds to get it across. Jackson Porter. Short-handed, always dangerous. Rebels can kill off the rest of this one here. A 5-minute 5-on-3 penalty kill. I have never seen this in my life. The JRC is buzzing right now. Fans appreciate the penalty kill as Stewart stops Fodchuk. Matthew Vetch now. Well, wait, the O guys got a pretty big rest. We'll see if they can add some damage on the scoreboard. Jackson Baker over to Fairholm. Fairholm, pick and pop, tried to hit Elliott. Borinek now. He'll wait for Baker on the floor. Surprised we didn't see Morgan Baker on the entire 5-on-3. It was deadly with the Outlaws on their power play, especially on that backdoor quick stick. Horlick up top for Joma. Skyball. Blake comes down with it. Stripped by Fraser Barrett. Alec Borinek now. It's Riley Lewis. The hunt for 4. Oliver says no. Now Bennett Fry tries to go behind the back. Dahl has to come back and get it. Porter's got to be careful. He's not holding on to the jersey. Bryce Schmerman, plenty of room, and he whips it wide. Eastwood beat to the pipe, and now Peterson just tipped it on goal. Trey Stewart's got to be careful. It's between his legs, and that's an awkward save. Peterson with it. 15 on the shot clock. Jackson Baker for Maxwell, behind the back. Oliver doesn't know where it is, and it's just behind the cage now. And now Eastwood gets tossed to the ground. They're going to let him play on here. I don't mind seeing that if it goes both ways. It's playoffs. Bornick for Joma. Low to low. Davin Baldock heads to the dressing room. Seemed like he was going off fine, maybe just getting a new stick. Lewis in tight. McKenzie had it, but he was cutting through the crease. Bennett Fry. Hobday out of the corner now. Pass is going to bounce, and it's going to get grabbed by Borniak. Hits Fraser Barrett. How does Barrett even have legs to run after that? He pretty much killed 4 of the 5 minutes on that 5-on-3. Maybe you credit John Lintz in the minors program, because that kid can play. Jackson Baker up top for Porter. He'll try and go short side. Oliver steps to his left and makes a nice stop. Transition, good defense. They get out on him, but it's Horlock. Tucks it far side. No, they'll say he stepped in the crease. His left foot looked in tight, and he was on the crease. Well, he was probably over the line by a fair amount there. .50 seconds to go in the period. Peterson, far side, almost had a seeing eye shot. This is going to bounce all the way down to Trace Stewart. 7 on the shot clock. Now Fry. Him and Eastwood having a couple of words. Now it's a nice little handshake / hug. No harm, no foul. Crude possession. 30 seconds on the shot clock, 30 seconds on the game clock. Again, the Crude could call a timeout here and drop a play, go 6-on-5. They're going to say that one went in. Joma. Looked like it hit the post. Ref's got a better angle than me. They'll say it popped out. It's 8-2. Joma with the goal. You couldn't place it any better because it looked like it was off the pipe from up here. Less than 20 seconds to play in the period. Cale Harris wins the draw, and the Crude will take a timeout with 16 seconds left to go. Now the Crude will go 6-on-5. Derek Joma has the latest. Adam Horlack has their other. Kyle Dzwanka. Couple of goals in the playoffs for him in game number 1. He'll get the ball up top. 16 seconds left to go in period number 1. Bryce Schmerman's perched behind the net here. We'll see who gets the last shot. They'll run it from Hobding. Now it's Schmerman. Gonna walk it out himself, tries to tuck it high, and Stewart says no. Another chance, stopped by Stewart, and that's how we finish 40 minutes in the JRC. Rebels lead 8-2, heading into the final frame. We'll be back with you then. It's Cody Jansen on 12-Ounce Sports. 40 down, 20 to go. It's Cody Jansen with you on 12-ounce sports junior beast action. 8:30 local time, and we've got what they'd call a banger on our hands right now. Rebels lead 8-2. Your shots 28-21 in favor of St. Albert. Let's take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard while we're at it in the Tier 1 circuit. Okotoks beats the Junior Mounties 11-10 today. Wallace McRae with the game winner late, and the Calgary Chill down 5-1 to Red Deer after the first period. Come back and beat the Rampage 16-9 in the Junior A circuit. The Miners Lacrosse Club, they're up 3-1 in the first period, and going back the other way is Porter. Could hardly get the out-of-town scoreboard out, and the Rebels had a goal chance. Here's Bryce Schmerman one-on-one with McAdam. No room to shoot. Fraser Barrett now has to grab the loose ball, and it's over to McAdam, far side of the floor. Rebels offense, it's Elliott, the affiliate. Got it on goal, good stop for Reese Oliver. Didn't start the game, had to come in cold. Allowed the first goal on his first shot he faced. But he's been solid since, and he's given his team a chance to win. Here's Fodchuk. 6 goals, not impossible in lacrosse. Trey Stewart has his first stop of the period. Now they get picked off, and Stewart's out of his net. Rebels throw it away. Crude finish. It's 8-3. Trey Stewart got caught trying to set a pick, and ends up in the back of the net. Horlack scores unassisted, and it's his 4th of the playoffs. Brings the Crude within 5. We're far from done here, folks. Dizwanka. Little back pedal, tries to free up room, low to low. Stewart's got it. Now the Rebels bobble another one, and it gets one-armed wide. Have to take care of the ball is Fairholm. Getting into it with Searson in front of the players' benches. Xander Maxwell, far corner. Little behind the back, dump. Jackson Baker, open room, won't go. Maxwell, over to Eastwood for Fairholm. That shot gets blocked by Dizwanka. Body on the line, it's playoffs. Dahl steps into one, Schmerman cuts to the crease, can't tuck home the rebound. Ethan Peterson, the captain, far side. Rebels could use some momentum here. It's been all Crude this period after that opening shift. Lewis gets stopped. Peterson, rebound won't go. Now Oliver whips it up the floor. Wedman's waiting for it, and he'll circle back in the neutral zone. Morgan Baker turns on the Jets. Played a lot of transition in Sherwood Park. Still finding his role here with the Crew. Joma, outside look. Horlack for Baker. Getting bobbled around, and now to get grabbed by Borniak. Fairholm down to Eastwood. Cross the floor for Maxwell. Some sloppy offense here for the Rebels, and Borniak, possible break. Liam Elliott gets his stick in the way though. The affiliate have been the difference maker. Now Xander Maxwell is going to slow this one down with the help of Porter. Out of the corner, it's Jackson Porter. Low shot, Maxwell's got the rebound and he scores! Xander Maxwell and the Rebels lead by 6. Xander Maxwell gets his first of the game, and it couldn't come at a bigger time. 15:53 left to go in period number 3. The Rebels needed something to go their way this period. And right there's a little bit of a confidence boost from the kid who's been running the offense for the past few weeks. Xander Maxwell grabs the rebound, makes no mistake. It's in the back of the net. It's 9-3. Jackson Porter with the assist on the Maxwell goal. St. Albert charges the other way. A lot of room up top for Kyle Dzwanka. Schmerman tries to put it off the back of Trey Stewart's head. Now a whistle gets blown here. Penalty's being called, and it's going to be on the Crude. Slash is going to be called, and it looks like Horlack is going off, although he'll play his case. You're going to need a better lawyer than that to change the ref's mind as Fort Saskatchewan goes to the power play with 15:25 to go in the final frame. Rebels are 1 for 5 on the power play. Really, 2 of those were cut short by penalties of their own, though. Baker tees it up wide. That's his shot. He loves that short side pull as well. Now he's got it. He's got to watch out for the boards. It's Baldock's all over him. It's on the ground, and Baker body slams him, and now he's going to take a penalty here. While the body slam's entertaining, the refs don't find it that way, and again, Fort Saskatchewan blows the opportunity on their power play. Joma's on the far side. Horlack in the penalty box still. Fodchuk back for Joma. Quick stick. One-timer won't connect. Porter one-arms this one for Vetch. And the refs end up blowing it down. Uses free arm to protect. Joma, little back pedal. Dzwanka's in tight. Fodchuk's there as well. Punch back by Barrett. It's 4-on-4, but it looks like a penalty kill right now. Big slide by McAdam. Fodchuk still controls, and he rips it off the post. They're gonna do 30 clock here. Schmerman, the 4th-0 guy, wants to go one-on-one with McAdam. Barrett with the slide. Misses the target. Schmerman's in tight, and he's robbed by Stewart. Ten count doesn't matter. We're even strength still. Matthew Vetch, far side of the floor. Porter back for Lewis. The hunt for 4. Stopped by Oliver, although he's got to look behind him. Now it's Dahl. Porter's on the back check. Tripp's going to get called on Porter, although the hand went up quite delayed. Dahl with the backhand dish. For Hobday. Cross to Dahl, wants to let it fly, and Trey Stewart with the left pad stops it. Jackson Porter gets called for the trip. So it's another 5-on-3 for the Crude. They had a 5-minute one in period number 2. As Fodchuk finds Joma on the far side. Dizwanka's up top. Horlak's the 5th man. Schmerman tries to grab it to the crease and the ref catches him. It'll be Carter McAdam out of the corner. Fraser Barrett's back with him. .30 to kill. We'll see if Fraser Barrett has to get it across the restraining line, and now he will. A second to spare, and now he cuts it back. Wasn't quite aware of his surroundings there. And the Crude, 80 seconds left on their power play, but it's down to a 5-on-4. Fodchuk give and go. Schmerman's off the post. Sub shot goes wide by Dizwanka, and it's going to bounce all the way down to Reese Oliver. 1 second to throw it. That'll be over the cage. Trey Stewart had his helmet up already, as it's going to bounce all the way down into Crude territory. We'll see where they let him play it from. Peterson now. He'll be the runner. Sends it all the way over to Fairholm. Would be surprised if they go for something offensively early here. Fairholm now finds a little bit of room. Oliver with the save, but the bull in a china shop gets his own rebound back. Almost tripped up by Searson as he's got the full axe out. Peterson over to Lewis. A lot of parents trying to coach out here. Xander Maxwell, shot on goal. Apologies for any language you might be hearing at home. It's parents wearing purple, so I'll let you make your own discretion on what you're hearing. Here's Horlak for Schmerman out of the corner. In tight, Horlak. Kick saved by Stewart. Dizwanka on the boards. Porter scoops it back. He's got a break if he can grab it clean, and he doesn't. Jackson Porter, some fresh legs cutting towards the net. It's the affiliate, Elliott, and it's wide. In tight, Liam Elliott. They left him all alone. Couldn't bring it to double digits. Hobday. Joma's up top. Haven't seen him shoot too much. He's got a great shot. But Joma maybe gripping the stick a little tight. Maybe he's getting calls otherwise. In transition, Eastwood's got it. That's a wise play to take a step back and look at what's ahead of you. Zayden Blake will defend him, but Eastwood spins, and now he blows a tire. Back to Fodchuk. Gillespie will defend. Seth McKenzie's off the bench as a defender. Fodchuk's behind the back, goes wide. Dahl for Fodchuk. Room to shoot, and Trey Stewart absorbs it. Refs will let him take a water timeout, and with 10:14, we'll step aside. It's Cody Jansen with you on 12-Ounce Sports. It's 47 degrees inside the JRC, and the players don't care. It's Cody Jansen with you on 12-Ounce Sports. North Division semifinal. Xander Maxwell, far side of the floor. He'll be the ball handler here. 20 on the shot clock, past the midway point of period number 3. Hard pick set up top. Lewis with it. Pass goes off the head of Harris, and it almost bounces out of play, but the tall glass keeps it in. Bennett Fry has Schmerman off the bench too. Fry by himself, bouncer on goal. Stewart with the stomp. Matthew Vetch, another local product, helping the Rebels here. They lead by 6 in period number 3. Far from over is this thing. Liam Elliott had a great chance a couple of minutes ago. Just fired it wide, and now Lewis's shot got blocked by Wedman. Horlack's on hat-trick watch as he runs it into Rebel territory. Pass back up top, intended for Ben Hobding. Acquired at the deadline from the Outlaws. Hobding, high pass. Dizwanka's up top, has to let it fly, and it bounces wide. Shot clock almost about to expire. They'll get it on goal, and Stewart off the side of his pad and behind the net. Now he scoops up the rebound there. Good awareness by the Rebels' cage minder. Pepsi Mike breaking ankles out there now. Riley Lewis, little room untight. Tried to pass it down for Maxwell though. Little too fancy. But that's what a big goaltender like Reese Sullivan will do. He makes it look like you've got nothing to shoot at. Dahl back up top. Zayden Blake's waiting for it. Back to Dahl, drives the cage. Stewart with the save, and he's got to dive back. Now Dahl getting into it in front with Vetch. McAdam hands it off. Reese Walsh and Matthew Vetch with a big defensive stop there, and they're going to have to get back out on the floor just as quick. Crude pulling their goalie with 7 minutes to go here. Desperation, threat level midnight. Now in tight, diving into the crease is Dizwanka. And if they're going to call it off against Maxwell, I guess you do it against Dizwanka as well. Well, I would love to see that count if you don't hit the goaltender. This isn't the NLL, and we're not playing on turf. Connor Murray now between the pipes. The fastest one wearing pads out there in Crude purple. Xander Maxwell, 5 to shoot. Maxwell looking for a passing partner. Now he puts it on goal. Murray with the save. And Maxwell's gonna force a turnover. Davin Baldock loses possession. And the Rebels can eat another 25 off the shot. Have to be careful not to take any penalties now if you're Fort Saskatchewan. Let the other team act physical. Fairholm, fake spin move, and I think slash attempt if I've ever seen one there. I believe that might have been Ray Knowles' stick. That went flying 100 feet, and Jackson Porter's got the turnover to the empty net. Jackson Porter, double digits Rebels. Jackson Porter with his second of the game brings the Rebels to double digits. Blake's up top. Kicked out by Stewart. Horlack off the wall on hat-trick watch. This one goes wide. Bouncing all the way down to Reese Oliver. Surprised they're not going to pull him again. I know it's 7, but in lacrosse, anything can happen. I think we had 4 goals in the last minute of play in the first period in the senior game earlier. Doesn't take long, but it seems like they're happy playing 5-on-5 here. Joma towards the goal. Stewart seals the pipe. Joma's in tight now. This one goes over the net. It's a shooting gallery. Blake now. Stewart, good positioning, eats it, and most importantly, no rebound. Fraser Barrett, it's a dime for Riley Lewis. But boy, maybe he wasn't expecting it. That was too good to be true. Joma's down low. Up top for Horlack, low to high. Misses the target, now getting some rough stuff. Bennett Fry and Alec Borniak getting into it. Holding's gonna be the call on Bennett Fry, and Fort Saskatchewan gets their second power play of the period. Rebels on the power play. Xander Maxwell and Jackson Porter play give and go. Now Porter's got some space in tight. Stopped by Oliver. Rebels power play. Maxwell's up top. Him and Porter. You'd assume they eat it till about the 7-second mark. And then they'll draw something up as it's Fairholm in tight. Bounces one into the ceiling. Reno, far side of the floor. Has to watch out for Lewis. Wanka pushes it up top. Back to Fodchuk, and he scores. Joshua Fodchuk, and the lead's back down to 6. Baker and Blake pick up assists on the Fodchuk marker. And it was only a matter of time, right? Before Joshua Fodchuk found the back of the net in playoffs here. Held scoreless until game 2. And came about 57 minutes in. Now it's Xander Maxwell. Skills competition back for Fraser Barrett, and he botched it. Now Barrett gets run over. Penalty coming, a little bit of a high hit there on Barrett. Cross check will be called. End of the day, you don't want to see anyone get hurt here. For the Rebels, right now you're playing for next round. You got to be healthy if you want any chance against the Warriors. So anything high, likely going to get called. 5-on-4 as Bennett Fry gets out of the box and Adam Horlack takes his seat, keeping it warm. Although it's already plus 40 inside the JRC here. The Rebels have won the last 2 series against the St. Albert Crude. This one on the backs of Trey Stewart as we come down to the final couple of minutes. Seth Fairholm tight gets stopped by Reese Oliver. Oliver only had a .695 save percentage this season, but coming in relief here tonight, he's been good. That's not an easy spot to be in. You come in down, 6-0 after the first period? He's played just fine. Trey Stewart gets a shoulder on the Ben Hobday shot from outside. Walsh fires this one down the floor. Justice Cutler controls. Cutler now, if you remember that third goal, boy, if the Crude could have built on some of that momentum, that could have been a critical error for Fort Saskatchewan. Instead, they turn it around, they keep their eyes forward, and they're 80 seconds away from a berth in the North Division final. Porter, Patrick, throw those hats! Jackson Porter makes it 11-4. So Jackson Baker and Ethan Peterson grab assists on the Jackson Porter hat-trick goal. Crude offense. Dzwanka's shot got blocked. Threat level midnight continues in the shooting gallery. Denied by Trey Stewart. This one's gonna bounce past the Rebels bench. Matthew Vetch holds on to it. I got a text from an NLL player who's watching, and he said, where does the performance of that goaltender rank among what you've seen in juniors? And for the Tier 1 circuit, what Trey Stewart has done in this series, probably the best series I've ever seen a junior B player play here. The goaltending-wise, top to bottom, he's made 41 saves tonight. He stopped 33. His save percentage is practically going to be 900. It's insane. They're numbers that should not happen from a Lacrosse goaltender, and a Lacrosse goaltender that's facing a team that's stacked up at the deadline. I'll let the fans take you home, Fort Saskatchewan. Final score inside the JRC, 11-4. Fort Saskatchewan wins, and they book their ticket to the North Division Finals. A date with Josh McCallion and the Edmonton Warriors. What a game for Riley Lewis. He had a hat trick. Jackson Porter as well. That's your third and second star. First, you could pick it at home. Trey Stewart stops 41 out of 45. He's the reason Fort Saskatchewan's moving on. They sweep the Crude. Thanks for joining us here. It's 9 o'clock local time. What a day it's been. A doubleheader. Heck of a ball game. And we've got more for you tomorrow. Game 2 of the Alberta Series Lacrosse semifinals. Fort Saskatchewan Senior Rebels taking on the Calgary Mounties. 2 o'clock start. I'll talk to you then. Enjoy the evening, Fort Saskatchewan.